A lot of political action here, but nothing concrete at the moment. Ritu Rajpurohit also joins me here. Obviously, minister after minister coming out of that cabinet meet, giving out bites. DK Shivakumar speaking just a short while ago, saying that he's still not got an official invitation yet to Delhi. But then sources do say that 29th or 30th, both DK Shivakumar, Siddaramaiah are likely to be in Delhi. What did you pick up when you spoke to him just about 5 minutes ago, Ritu? We'll play that soundbite in just a bit, but very quickly set up the context for it.
Obviously, in a brief, you see, we did try and understand from him to get this sense that whether he's been really called by the High Command or whether he's been given any sort of a signal by the High Command that he will have to come to Delhi and this problem will get resolved amicably. Now, therein he says that he has not received any call so far, first. Secondly, he says he obviously has some private events that are being lined up for him. So he will be going to Mumbai but be coming back to the city today itself. So needs to be seen whether by tonight at least whether he's going to receive a call, or for that matter the Chief Minister as well, because we tried him asking the same question. He also said that there's nothing so far on his card.
Don't tell me the power play shifts to Mumbai as well, but let's listen in to DK Shivakumar, who spoke just a short while ago after that cabinet meet. Remember that that took place here in the Vidhan Sauda. All the other ministers also leaving from that cabinet meet. Let's listen in to DK Shivakumar, who spoke to the media just a short while ago.
ನನಗೆ ಯಾರು ಕರೆದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ 50 ವರ್ಷದ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಅಕ್ಕಾಪಡೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಂಬೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೊಂದು ಖಾಸಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇದೆ.
So that's the key power player, if I may put it that way, DK Shivakumar there speaking to the media. Other ministers also speaking to the media, sending out their message. Satish Jarkiholi, remember, Public Works Department Minister, a key factor in this whole equation. One who I believe is vying for the Congress president's post. He is the ST face of the Congress party, part of the Jarkiholi family, which is an extreme power player in North Karnataka when it comes to whether the BJP or the Congress. His brother is a BJP MLA. Satish Jarkiholi also sending out a message, Ritu, earlier in the day, saying that look, at the right time it will be discussed DK Shivkumar's position. What's the sense you're picking up from the Jarkiholi camp? Quickly set this up for us before we play that Satish Jarkiholi soundbite.
Looks like Veera, even Satish Jarkiholi is also done, because he's just conducting meetings after meetings, marathons of meetings that we are seeing. He goes to Siddaramaiah, comes back to DK Shivakumar, trying to speak to both the camps as well. Now, even as that his name is nearby to the KPCC president post as well. But he's also been waiting to get this whole drama to get over so that even his card becomes clear as the KPCC chief. Now needs to be seen that how is this really going to pan out in the coming days, whether he will play an active role to resolve this amicably. If it happens, then it's also a plus point for the Satish Jarkiholi.
I don't think anyone plays an active role to resolve anything amicably. They all play an active role to resolve it in their favor, to get the best political power equation possible. That's what politicians do. Let's listen in to Satish Jarkiholi before we proceed further.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಿಗೋಲ್ಲ, ರೇಟ್ ಬಂದಿ ಭಾಳ ಮಂದಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗೋಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಯ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ.
ಸರ್, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್? ಇದು ಗೊಂದಲ, ಈ ಕುರ್ಚಿ
ಗೊಂದಲ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, CM ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಇತ್ಯರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊಂದಲ ಬಗೆಹರಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಕೂಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಉಳಿದವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಅವ್ರೊಬ್ಬರೇ ದುಡ್ಡು.
ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ.
Well, Satish Jarkiholi, interesting comments that's coming in from there. Look, everyone's sending their message, right? I wouldn't read too much into each individual message. I think the big message has to come from Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi. And I think this is everyone setting themselves up in terms of saying, putting their points out across. It will boil down to the question of MLAs and the number of MLAs. I believe more reactions are coming as we play that out. In fact, we've got an entire power play packed panel as well up ahead, and we'll also play some graphics on what we believe DK Shivakumar wants out of this meeting from the High Command, what Siddaramaiah is looking at, who the other power players are. But just a very brief bit on the Satish Jarkiholi factor. You've spoken to Santosh Lad, you've spoken to other ministers as well. In fact, some of the ministers are taking the other route out of the Vidhan Sauda because they don't want to be caught with the cameras in front of them. What's the sense you're picking up, whether it is a Parameshwara, whether it is a Satish Jarkiholi? Are they just stating their position because they are being questioned, or are they willingly wanting to come and appear before the media? What's your sense?
See, but deep inside might be that these leaders, don't want to come out and openly show that who they are really backing to, because they are also really concerned that this is really going to damage the party in the state, and it's a damage for the whole of party, and it's also for the state on those lines as well. Right. Because you see, the Congress is really strong here in Karnataka when we compare to other states in the whole of South India. So yes, for the high command, basically what these individuals really going to say will not matter to them, because they will have to look into the caste politics as well, the caste equations too, to ensure that this is getting resolved amicably and not damaging the party at this point in time.
That's right. Let's listen into what let's just listen into what Siddaramaiah said a short while ago. He's saying, I believe he has also spoken to the media, perhaps outside here at the Secretariat or outside his residence. Let's just listen into what the Chief Minister had to say on these developments.
Will you be going Delhi, sir? Sir, English, sir. Sir, will you be going Delhi, sir? Sir, the AICC president has...
So far, High Command has not called me. They called me, I will definitely go to the
Thank you, sir. Will you be going Delhi, sir? Sir, English, sir. Sir, will you be going Delhi?
Well, so that's Siddaramaiah saying that, look, he's also not got a call from Delhi as yet. I don't expect any calls to have gone as yet, but I think everyone's prepared for a 29th meeting in New Delhi, because the official call, Ritu, will happen after Kharge meets Rahul Gandhi, and perhaps will have to go from the AICC General Secretary in charge of KPCC, Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee, which is KC Venugopal. I think there will be first a huddle in Delhi in terms of how they want to go about the situation, because this is not a new development. I think the High Command, as we call, and Kharge, and I think an important comment this morning from Kharge is about saying that High Command is not one person, it's not Rahul Gandhi, it's a team. It includes me, it includes the AICC General Secretary KC Venugopal, but of course all eyes on Rahul Gandhi in terms of what next and how he's got to decide, because ultimately he's got to take the decision. Let's just go through what we believe DK Shivkumar is playing at, what Siddaramaiah's demands would be, and you can add as we play those graphics out. I think the first thing that DK Shivkumar wants is a clear transition plan. He may not want an immediate transition, but a clear transition plan agreed upon as to whether Siddaramaiah is willing to let go of the post of Chief Minister this term and allow him to take charge. The second is a clear message to Siddaramaiah that he has to step down at some point of time to allow a transition, because this result, the 137 seats that they have, is a combination of work both from DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. While Siddaramaiah was the big face, DK Shivkumar was the Congress president and the man who has been credited with putting the party together for that election campaign. Siddaramaiah's agreement to allow a smooth transition, that's more important for DK Shivkumar. Given that Siddaramaiah is seen to have the number of MLAs and the kind of presence that he has, he would not want any kind of friction in that transition. That's the key point right now. It's about a transition which would be smooth if at all it has to happen.
Well, very true. See, that's when the whole of this Ahinda picture comes into the play as well, because a lot of MLAs also say the same, that, more than what the individuals are saying, they will have to look into the caste equations as well to ensure that the voters are not getting divided on the name of these leaders. So end of the day, the sentiments on the ground of these voters also matters a lot.
And the importance of the MLAs who support Siddaramaiah to be clear for a transition to him. These are things that DK Shivkumar would be pushing for. Siddaramaiah, of course, would be wanting a decision deferred, if not delayed, until the budget is presented in Karnataka, because one of his key goals, we believe, is to set the record as the longest serving Chief Minister of Karnataka. I believe Deepak Bopanna, who's also somewhere in the vicinity of this Vidhan Sabha, he was running around with our video journalist Kumar to try and get sound bites, joins me live. Deepak, go ahead. What do you have? We've all been speaking. Do you have anything concrete? I'm sure you don't have any concrete details of the meeting in Delhi, but what are you picking up from the people you've spoken to here?
Well, Veera, as far as the leadership and the decisions that they're going to take, it's of course anybody's guess, and it's a very important decision that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has to make. Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and Sonia Gandhi combined have to make. It's a litmus test really for the Congress High Command. I have senior Congress leader here with me, Mr. Ramesh Babu sir. Tell us, as far as this decision is concerned, it's very crucial because it's not just for the state of Karnataka that this is important. This is also a litmus test of sorts for the Congress High Command, isn't it? Because it's a very precarious situation. Karnataka is a very important state politically. A large number of MLAs come from here. You already have 138 here. You also contribute towards the Rajya Sabha seats. Tell us how important is this decision that the High Command needs to make?
You see, we are not the right person to address what you are asking the question. Already what you said, it is correct. Our AICC, Madam Sonia Gandhi ji, Rahul Gandhi ji, as well as Mallikarjun Kharge ji is going to take the decision. Till that speculations are going on. But nothing is sure. It all leave it to the AICC. They will clarify the things. I'm not going to ask you what the decision is going to be, but the need for the decision. That's what I'm trying to ask you about, because the Chief Minister himself has said that there is now an absolute need. There is confusion and the High Command should put an end to it. Why is it not happening? No. You see, the CM as well as DECM clearly clarified the things. And they clarified it. They are going to obey the AICC decision. So there is no question of putting the speculation now. Definitely they are going to give the solution to this. What you are asking the question tomorrow, they are going to give the solution. Government is comfortable. Our priority is to give the good administration. That we are doing now.
Mr. Babu, two things I want to ask you. You've been, a very friendly spokesperson to the media. You've always, of course, accommodated any sort of request. But here, the blame seems to be coming that the media is, hyping things up. But the situation on the ground and the reality is that in the Chief Minister's house, there are unplanned meetings with ministers. MLAs are meeting other ministers. There's closed-door meetings everywhere that's happening. And this cannot all be just in a matter of chance and all of them dismissing it, saying it's routine.
Who don't know the history, they will talk like this. You come to the history of Karnataka, not only Karnataka, you see the Congress government, wherever it is there, it is quite natural. In Karnataka, since K.C. Reddy, he was the first Chief Minister of Karnataka, from that to year, always it is there. The MLAs used to meet for dinner, they used to meet for their personal discussion, and it is a friendly nature. Nothing wrong in that. So you go whenever the Congress government in Karnataka.
Well, it's a friendly nature, says the Congress spokesperson. How friendly are the equations going to be in Delhi when the meetings perhaps happen? Joining us this evening, I'll have Tehseen Poonawala, who's followed the Congress very closely. Tehseen, thanks very much for joining us. Ashutosh, senior journalist, who's got a strong point of view on these issues. Thanks very much, Ashutosh, for joining us here. Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist, as well as Sudha Halakkai, spokesperson of the BJP. Let me first come across to you, Ashutosh. Do you believe there will be clarity once the decision and the meetings are taken, play out in Delhi? Or do you believe that it's very difficult to arrive at clarity, A, and B, implement it as far as Karnataka is concerned? Briefly, your thoughts.
See, Veera Raghav, I'm very clear in my thought that the Congress is on a suicidal mission in Karnataka. And the Congress is not learning lessons. It has not learnt lessons in Chhattisgarh, neither it learns lesson in Rajasthan, nor it learnt any lesson from other part of India. See, first of all, the Congress should not be making a kind of a deal that's 2.5 years, Siddaramaiah will be the Chief Minister, and the next 2.5 years, the DK Shivakumar. That never happened. That will not happen anywhere else. Now, it's very difficult to remove Siddaramaiah and to install DK Shivakumar as a Chief Minister. If you don't install DK Shivakumar as the Chief Minister, then obviously DK Shivakumar will feel cheated, will feel betrayed, and he might choose a different course of action, which will damage Congress party irreparably at the national level as well as in Karnataka. Now, the issue is why Congress does this. You sold the same formula in Chhattisgarh. Look what happened over there. A state which Congress was comfortably placed in Chhattisgarh, and the Congress lost. So I think now the issue should be that Siddaramaiah, I'm not suggesting any formula to the Congress president, because I know Mallikarjun Kharge comes from the Karnataka, and the Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi are intelligent enough to understand this. But if at this moment, if they are trying to dislodge Siddaramaiah, then don't forget what happened in Punjab. You dislodge Captain Amrinder Singh, and then the Congress faced the consequences. So I think this is a very tricky situation. This needs
You're making a
sensitive
very
handling.
important point, Ashutosh. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're making a very important point in the larger national context. Don't repeat mistakes of the past because this needs to be handled very delicately. Let me get Tehseen Poonawala as well into it. Tehseen, Ashutosh making a very important point. This is not the first power tussle the Congress has seen, and DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah are also not new entrants to politics. Both are seasoned veteran political players who've seen the test of time in politics. How do you see this playing out? Because the grassroots realities, both in terms of caste equations and in terms of political power play and in terms of number support in terms of MLAs, remain the same as it was, I would argue, as it was in 2023 after the results. How do you see the Congress High Command navigating this?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Veera, let me put this in perspective. So I agree partially with my friend Ashutosh that the Congress has had these problems in the past, be it Haryana with Kumari Selija and Vinder Hudda-ji, be it Rajasthan with Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot-ji, be it Madhya Pradesh with Kamal Nath and Jyotiraditya Scindia, or another places, Chhattisgarh between Baghel and PSC. But Karnataka is slightly different, and allow me to explain why. DK, you cannot get a bigger loyalist in Congress than DK. Remember, he went to jail for the Congress party. DK is one leader who will fight for the Congress. Every time there's a crisis in the Congress, DK is the one who solves the Congress. If the BJP tries to dislodge a government, DK is the one who comes and saves it. Comparing this to Punjab is completely wrong, simply because in Punjab, Sidhu was not an original Congressee. He was somebody who had come into the party, whereas Captain Saab, the Chief Minister of Punjab, was an original congressman. In this particular case, DK is an original congressman. Siddaramaiah-ji has come into the Congress. Now, I agree. Siddaramaiah-ji is a mass leader. He's also an OBC Chief Minister. He also has a backward community completely and solidly behind it. But two things that I want to put on record out here. Number one, and I'm saying this, whatever the High Command decides, and they must decide, not a single MLA will leave the party. There's a reason for this. In Punjab, it was 4.5 years since when that fight between Captain Ahinda and Sidhu took place. Here, there's 2.5
Got
years.
it. What's point number two?
No Congress
Got it.
MLA
What's
was
point
in
number
election.
two?
Point number two is simply this, that at the end of the day, do you want to reward loyalty, yes or no? And do you want to have a future roadmap? If there is a future roadmap, that future roadmap must have DK Shivkumar in it. No if, no but. Siddaramaiah-ji will be the longest serving Chief Minister, after which we must have a future roadmap and a transition. Transition is what makes political parties strong.
Absolutely. I think you've made your 2 points very clear. I think Ashutosh also categorical about what he has to say. You made your point very clear. Deepak Bopanna, my colleague who's been running after politician coming out of the cabinet meeting, more bites, but the hunger still remains, Deepak. What's really happening? Do you really believe that there will be anything conclusive that we will know, at least in terms of when a meeting's going to happen in Delhi? What's the sense you're picking up? Because everyone says they've not got even a call yet.
Yes, there was a lot of speculation that, they've got calls. We, of course, at NDTV have been pointing out that while they were in the cabinet, spoke to the Chief Minister's office, the Deputy Chief Minister's office, they confirm right now there is no call because there is a meeting that's underway. This is pertaining to Bihar. After that, they're going to possibly discuss Karnataka and then the meeting is going to come by. But, while we are all talking about the meeting in Delhi, there was a cabinet meeting here and many people in Karnataka would wonder with the kind of race that there is for cabinet
But they were
ministries.
discussing work at the cabinet meeting, governance and administration, not politics, sir.
Well, you ask the opposition, they'll probably beg to differ because with this sort of turmoil and animosity that there is pertaining to the leadership, I just wonder what was the kind of conversation that went on inside
But
the
do
cabinet.
we sense it as reporters when we see Siddaramaiah-DK Shivakumar and others around? Do you sense it as reporters? Because I was up there on the third floor as well. It seems pretty hunky-dory as far as the politicians are concerned. Is there really that sense of animosity? Do you feel that there is a DK camp and a Siddaramaiah camp, or is it the media creation?
Well, I'm definitely sensing that there is some sort of a turbulence because, for example, just yesterday, when the Constitution Day was being celebrated here, there were two events which the Deputy Chief Minister and the Chief Minister both were supposed to be together. Both conveniently avoided each other. One went to one particular, Constitution Day program, the other to the other. You're really looking at, for now at least, them not seeing eye to eye. But very soon, when they go to Delhi, you could see that image once again, Veera, of both of them holding their hands and doing this.
With Rahul Gandhi in the middle.
With Rahul Gandhi in the middle, and that's probably the sight that many people in Karnataka are waiting to see.
So I think we should hold hands and say we are together. But listen, I'll tell you what Siddaramaiah told me during the election campaign in 2023. I asked him specifically, is he your friend or a competitor, DK Shivakumar, for the chief minister? He's a friend who's also a challenger to the chief minister's post. And I think that remains quite clear, that DK Shivakumar sending out the clear message, at least from his camp, that he's not some pushover and he needs to be given his pound of flesh. It's up to the Congress High Command to take that decision. Let's listen in to the three most important figures in Karnataka politics today: DK Shivakumar, Siddaramaiah, and of course the grand old man of Karnataka politics, Mallikarjun Kharge. Let's just listen in to all three of them.
ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ.
See, my reaction is nothing. For us, party is more important than everything. I am not claiming anything right now. Whatever the party, in the interest of the best interest of the party, we will all work together and see that the success of our party is more important than individual things.
ಕಟ್ಟು ಮಾತಿನಂತೆ ನಡೀತಾರೆ. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರೇ ಆಗಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗಂತೂ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗಂತೂ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಆಗಿ MLA ಆಗಿ ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಬದಲಾಯಿಸೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಂತೂ ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ದೂರಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಗರಣ ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಡಳಿತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, MLAಗಳು ಅವ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸುವಂಥ ಅಗತ್ಯ ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಏನು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಪದವಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿಂತವ್ರು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವರು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವೇನೇ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಸರಿ ಇರೋದು. ನಂಗೆ ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೋತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬದಲಾಗ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅನ್ಸೋದು ಖಂಡಿತ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ 5 ವರ್ಷ.
ये देखिए, मैं इन सबको बुला के चर्चा करता हूँ. उस चर्चे में राहुल गांधी भी रहेंगे और मेरे हमारे दूसरे मेंबर्स भी रहेंगे, CM भी रहेंगे और हमारे डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर रहेंगे. तो इन सबको बुला के चर्चा करने के बाद निर्णय होगा. हाईकमांड बोले तो टीम है, अकेला नहीं रहता, टीम है. जब हमारी पूरे हाईकमांड की टीम बैठ के चर्चा.
Bye. You take care. Thank you. That was Priyank Kharge there, IT/BT minister, son of the Congress president, just leaving the Vidhan Soda. Deepak had a chat with him. I had a chat with him right here. He said, not now for any questions that I posed to him. Nobody wants to answer anything. Everyone wants to keep it tight at the moment in terms of what next. I think it's not about not knowing, it's also not wanting to precipitate the situation, especially for Priyank Kharge. I think most of the message will now come from New Delhi after that meeting between Kharge, KC Venugopal, Rahul Gandhi. Let me go across to Sudha Halakai and Amitabh Tiwari as well with us. Thanks for waiting patiently, Sudha Halakai and Amitabh Tiwari. I guess the story of the BJP will have to be to wait patiently even as all this unravels. The Congress seems to be in pole position. They're saying that this is all BJP manufactured, media created confusion. Very quick response.
Very good evening, Veera. We have seen, the unrest what is taking place in Karnataka. The Congress, it's a testimony for the Congress because they have been claiming that they always stand for the OBC, and now this is a real testing time for the Congress with whom they are going to stand and what decision they are going to take. And I have to put forth two important points over here, Veera. These people, the CM and the Deputy CM and all of the topmost leaders, Congress leaders in Karnataka, they're busy meeting the High Command, Rahul Gandhi, Ticket Mallikarjun Kharge, and whosoever there. But whereas all the other things has been set aside in Karnataka, the farmers are committing suicide. They're literally openly putting themselves on fire, and they're taking the poison, taking the sugarcane farmers, taking the maize farmers, and everything. As it is, there's no development.
Madam, as you make
Karnataka.
that accusation, the Congress turns around and says that the BJP has never been able to give a government with the single chief minister in Karnataka. You have rotating Game of Thrones in your own party every time you come to power. Is is the accusation the Congress has made. But point taken what you've said. Let me get Amitabh Tiwari into this as well. Very quick word from you, Amitabh Tiwari. What's the sense you are picking up in terms of both the way forward for the Congress in this situation? It's very clear what each one wants. Do you see a categorical way forward with clarity, or do you believe confusion is perhaps the way forward? The old Narasimha Rao dialogue, no decision, taking no decision is also a decision in itself. Amitabh Tiwari.
No, see, I see Siddaramaiah just like Nitish Kumar. So it is very, very difficult to dislodge Siddaramaiah from the chair of Chief Minister without his consent or without him agreeing to this formula. That's number one. Number two is we are talking about succession planning. However, when we talk about DKS fitting into the chair of the Chief Minister or the future leader of the Congress party, we have to see that the Vokkaliga vote is largely a vote of the JDS, which shifted to the Congress party in 2023 elections. Congress party's vote share comprises largely of OBCs, SCs and Muslims. 70% of the vote share comes from these three communities. So if the succession planning is to project DKS as the face, then the Congress party runs the risk of losing this Ahinda vote share as well to competitors like the BJP. The BJP has been eyeing for this other OBC vote for a long time now. And the third is that
you're making a fair point in terms of the Ahinda vote share, and I think it's important as the Congress keeps that calculation in mind. I'm also joined by Aishwarya Jain, who's outside the Congress office. I want to go back to Ashutosh and Tehseen in a bit, but Aishwarya Jain, very briefly, what are you picking up from the Congress office there? The leader is here. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah are saying they've not got a call from the High Command as expected till the meeting concludes there. They may not get a call, but I can tell you from sources that everyone's preparing themselves for a 29th meeting or 30th perhaps.
Well, Veera, busy few days for you in Bengaluru. We will have certainly busy days in Delhi as well, because the High Command that we are speaking of, Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi, whether they will have a separate meeting before calling Mr. DK Shivakumar or Siddaramaiah to Delhi. Right now where I am is Indira Bhavan, which is the Congress headquarters, and there are some movements because both Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi have arrived for the Bihar review meeting. Perhaps post that, whether there will be an internal meeting between the Congress High Command, including KC Venugopal. As we have been told, Mr. Surjewala is not in Delhi as of now. So whether they will have first their internal meeting after the Bihar review meeting, that will certainly end up only after 1 or 2 hours, because it consists of at least 60 to 70 members. And post that, as Mr. Kharge stated, that the High Command will call the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister to Delhi. Perhaps that will only happen after 29. Now remember, there is a parliamentary strategy party meeting that also needs to happen before the winter session of Parliament that starts from the 1st of December. So before that, whether the Congress will end this entire tussle which is going on, the High Command calling up the Chief Minister or Deputy Chief Minister, is something that will be very interesting to remain, because the Congress Parliamentary Party Chairperson Sonia Gandhi is not in India.
Absolutely, Aishwarya. In fact, most of the sources indicate that
meeting will happen.
That's right. Most of the Congress sources indicating to us that before the winter session of Parliament they want clarity. I need to slip into a break, but first, very quick question to Ashutosh before we slip into the break. We'll have much more with Tehseen and Ashutosh in just a bit after the break. But Ashutosh, the sense I'm getting is that they will have a meeting, they will send out a message of camaraderie. There may not be an upsetting of the status quo right now, but there could be the start of the process to have a smooth transition. That's the sense I'm getting from the Congress.
I have my doubts whether this will be smooth. If it happens, then it's good for the Congress party. Siddaramaiah is probably the only chief minister in the last 2 decades or so who has completed his first term from 2013 to 2018, if I remember correctly the dates. After and even before that and after that, even the BJP had 3 chief ministers. B.S. Yedurappa, and then followed by Sadananda Gowda, and then by Jagdish Shettar. And the second time it was B.S. Yedurappa again, and then followed by Bommai. And every time they lost. They lost for the simple reason because people don't want instability over there. So and then we have to understand that Siddaramaiah is a mass leader, and he left H.D. Devegowda when he was called to be the right-hand man of H.D. Devegowda, because he thought that he will succeed H.D. Devegowda. When H.D. Devegowda did not fulfill his ambition, that's why he left H.D. Devegowda and came to the Congress party, and he had a full 5-year term. So Mr. Siddaramaiah is a mass leader,
right,
and he comes from the backward from the OBC families. DK Shivkumar is not a mass leader. DK Shivkumar has a very limited appeal, but he's a good organization. He's a good resourceful person. So the Congress has to make a balance between the mass leader and an organizer. Ideally, this fits very well. But if an organizer tries to become the mass leader, become the chief minister, that creates a problem.
Important point that you're making there in terms of Siddaramaiah's stature as a mass leader. Let me add that he's also seen by many observers as an anarchist, not someone who can be predicted in terms of what next, and also a strategist, a very strong and careful strategist in terms of it. He's seen the game play out for many, many years. I'll come to Tehseen in a bit, but first let's take a very, very short break. Welcome back. We're discussing the Karnataka political tussle. Well, no conclusion as far as the discussion's concerned. Just breaks in the middle and then much more to talk about. Tehseen Poonawalla still with us. Tehseen, you've heard what Ashutosh says. Ashutosh says it's not going to be easy to move over from Siddaramaiah. Do you see Siddaramaiah relenting to it? Because ultimately, at some point of time, he'll also have to allow for a transition to play out. So the sense that many get here is that this could be about convincing Siddaramaiah at some point of time to let go. And the one person who can do that is Rahul Gandhi. He's got that kind of influence, some would say, on Siddaramaiah.
Look, again, let's break this down into two equal parts. First, Siddaramaiah is the tallest leader. He's a mass leader and OBC leader. To that part, I agree. But every single of those 140-odd Congress MLAs have been elected on the hand symbol. They haven't been elected because of XYZ or ABC. They are Congress MLAs. And like I said, in Rajasthan and Punjab, 4.5 years of governance over. Here, 2.5 years is left. Nobody wants an election. Number two, every political party must have a plan for transition. That's the only way the political parties can move forward and induce younger blood, and loyalty must be rewarded. So, should there be a transition plan? Yes. I don't think anyone has to convince anybody. I think very firmly the High Command must let its writ run, and the writ of the High Command should be final. Now, yes, everyone should be taken into confidence, but this business of somebody will agree, somebody will not agree, I think this has to end. You must have a clear-cut roadmap, and that roadmap must be delivered. I'm very clear on this part.
You're pretty clear saying that the writ of the High Command should be enforced, but at this position, some would argue in a state as powerful for the Congress as Karnataka, would they be able to enforce a writ on powerful leaders like Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, who are,
may I ask you a question?
in a sense, leaders in their own right as far as Karnataka
may I ask you a question?
Is concerned? Quickly, yeah.
May I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
May I turn this around?
Go ahead.
Let's say the High Command has a particular direction. Which of the MLAs, and you, Veera, have covered Karnataka, Deepak has covered Karnataka for years and years. Tell me which MLA is going to say, no, I will resign as an MLA and I want a re-election. Tell me which of those MLAs can go with the BJP.
Oh, I completely agree with you, Tehseen. I completely agree with you that... I'll completely agree with you that the High Command has the control. Ultimately, High Command say will be abided on or, followed by most of the MLAs. But there are hardcore loyalists who may not allow for a smooth transition to take place. From one to the other, I'm talking in a binary between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. But you're right. As if the High Command steps in and... puts out its message very, very clearly, I think everyone will fall in line. So I think ultimately it is a test of the High Command, as you rightly point out, Tehseen Poonawalla. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll get in last words from Sudha Halakai and Amitabh Tiwari. Welcome back. Continuing our Karnataka discussion. Patiently, they've waited. Sudha Halakai and Amitabh Tiwari. I'm really sorry for all the breaking news that played out. Sudha Halakai, eventually you may have to wait patiently for a much longer period of time before you see some chaos in the Congress in Karnataka at least.
Veera, this is not patiently waiting. We are more worried for the common people in Karnataka, Veera. 3,000 farmers have committed suicide. And absolutely, to be very frank, I don't think there's a Congress government in Karnataka. It seems to be more like a coalition government between the two fractions, Mr. Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. That is what is happening between past 1.5 years over here. And because of this, there is differences and unrest in the bureaucrats as well as the communities as well. And what actually has to be a constitutional issue has become a debatable issue and auctional issue. That I don't. This is the most darkest time of the time in the history of Karnataka. I feel the state is completely derailed
Okay,
almost
you're
20
saying
years
that,
back.
but some would argue that it's been the same case with the BJP, but Amitabh Tiwari, a
Not at the
larger
cost of the
reflection
common
as far
people, not
as
at the cost of
the
development of the
realities of
state. We
Karnataka
never did
politics
this.
is concerned. Do you believe that there will be a smooth transition? Very quick question, if there is one at all.
No, essentially, Karnataka and Maharashtra are two states where everything and anything is possible. Where more than 1/3 of the MLAs in Karnataka have been in all the three parties, it is very, very difficult to say what is likely to happen tomorrow or day after. And we've seen previous governments also, like the HDK's government, being supported by the Congress party, did fall because some of the MLAs allegedly from the Siddaramaiah camp resigned and then crossed over to the BJP. So anything can happen. I feel that the Congress High Command today does not enjoy the same moral authority which it enjoyed just after the Lok Sabha elections. Because after a string of losses, it does not have the same heft, you can say. Secondly, Mr. Kharge is an interested party in this war. Because Siddaramaiah outwitted him in 2013 to become the chief minister. And his son also today is in race because he is a young leader. So all these complications are there. We have to see the caste combinations and also the fact that Siddaramaiah has the backing of a
You're
huge
making
number
a
of
very
women.
important point.
Much
You're
more
making
than
this a three-way race, but we'll see how this plays out. I think you've made that very important point of comparing Karnataka with Maharashtra and the nature of MLAs resulting in the kind of politics we've seen in this state. Political instability, never a dull moment as far as Karnataka is concerned. We'll keep a close watch of how this plays out. I'll be back at 7 p.m. from outside the Vidhan Sauda to debate further and make sense of all that's happened during the day. But that's all we have time for here. Thanks very much, Sudha Halakar and Amitabh Tiwari, for joining us. We'll take a very short break. News continues here on NDTV.